Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I hope I never see weather like I've seen recently again. It's been a nasty day here, and we've had some pretty nasty heavy weather. I got a favor to ask of somebody here in the audience. Let's see what we've got. Let's see who we've got. Well, we've got Mickey. Who else is here? Let me know who else is here. Just sound off to me and let me know. And I'm going to need somebody to pick a couple of numbers for me. Somebody to pick a couple of numbers for me. Doug is here. Doug, how about any number from 1 through 47? Okay, Carl, Dan, there's Mickey and DC. Doug, a number from 1 to 47. You too, Carl, number 1 to 47 other than 33. $38. Okay. We've got 38, 33, and 38. I have two spots that are going to need to be filled, and what we're going to do is whomever has number 33 is going to get coin number 49, and whomever has number 38 will get coin number 50. And those will be freebies to you. Loyalty points. That's where we go with that. Let me go ahead and get these stuffed real quick. And I'll write your names on them when we get there. I have no idea who has these right now, so we will get that situation covered as soon as we get to that point. Now, what are we doing today? We've got this 2014 Philadelphia. It's a plastic heat sealed roll, and these are just a little bit difficult to get into, but temperature's dropping like a rock. Eesh. Yeah, I don't even know what the temperature is here. I've been so busy indoors doing my thing, I haven't really paid attention to what's going on out there. I went to the post office about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, and it was man, it was nasty. It was, I mean, there were branches falling out of the trees. Nasty. Let me get the old telefono. Yeah, it's 59 degrees now. It was 67 2 hours ago. So, yup, it's jumping down. It is. It's nasty blowing out there. We had power flicker twice, and power went out about, I must say about 30 minutes ago. Yeah, about 30, 40 minutes ago. It was around the end of the 3 o'clock hour. Now we've got power back, and the winds have calmed down considerably. I checked the radar, and it looks like we're not in for any really bad stuff anytime soon. So, off we go into the wild yonder. There we go. And once you can get these to start going, they come out pretty easy. But you got to get them started. You got to be nice to them. You got to talk to them real nice. And they'll come out. If I'm not concerned about keeping them in the same order they were in when they were in the roll, they come out a little easier. But I can still get them out perfectly, just like this. All right, here we go. Coin number 1. 2014 Philadelphia is Wanda. Wanda for coin number 1. We're, of course, going to look for double dies here, both obverse and reverse. 2014 is actually a pretty good year to be checking. Let me run my light down just a little bit because these are so bright they're drowning my light. They're drowning the coin a little bit here. All right, there we go. And we're going to check the obverse and reverse of every coin in the roll until we start finding markers that we'll be able to use, like that little die dot right next to the 1 in the date. We will be able to use that to find our Orientation with the reverse to see if we have a double die. We do not have a double die on this one. So the marker on this would be that bubulous little die chip above the U on the edge of the shield. Now, these are pretty common. However, the shape of every single one of them is going to be unique. So if I look at that like half moon teardrop, half of a teardrop shape there, I'll be able to, with the one on the other side, I will be able to ascertain that this is the same die, or the next coin, wherever it is, that comes from that die will be the same as this one. And that is not going to be this coin, because this coin has a little mark on the bottom of the 0 and nothing next to the 1. So with that, we'll have an idea of another marker. No double die on the date that we can see. Get on around. I get around. I get around. We're going to find, I guess that 0 is going to be our best shot for a marker, and I'm not even sure that it is. It could be a struck through. But we'll watch. We'll watch for sure. We'll see. I'll flip this over. And one of the most important things I could probably teach about going through original rolls is to check markers on every coin. The reason for that, it helps you get through the roll faster. Because if you know the dies that you're going through, regardless of whether they are normal or double dies, or in some cases repunch mint marks, you will know more about what you're looking at, so you'll know what not to be so concerned about. See, this one's got the little chip above the L, so it is different from the last die, but it is still not a double die. No find yet, Eric. We're just on coin number 3. We're having some really shitty weather here, so I'm trying to navigate around the weather. Okay, this one doesn't look like it belongs to either one of the dies out there so far. So let me get this in better focus. There we go. Now, sometimes these are actual little pickle marks on the die, and sometimes they're little bubbles, and they're kind of hard to tell sometimes. I'm going to take, let's see if we can find a better marker than using die dots, because die dots can be very cantankerous. They can be very difficult. Now, remembering the 2 that we have already seen, I'm going to go ahead and break down and use that dot out in front of the nose as my possible. I've got another one down below the chin there. So it is perhaps possible that those are die markers. And let's look at the reverse. Nothing on the reverse here. We're going to be practicing this all over again. Yeah, there we go. We got a big die crack on the T. Big series of die cracks that actually runs all the way up to the A in America. We've got nothing above a pluribus unum, so this is definitely a different die from the other 2 coins we've seen already. But that big set of die cracks could easily mark this die and show us that we don't have anything there for dirty water. But the more we don't have anything, the more we might. It's one of those things, you know, it's feast or famine. It's dry pen or flood. This one doesn't appear to match anything we've seen so far. And in trying to use obverse markers only, see, that's probably a gas bubble on the T there. So let me see here if I can find anything useful. These coins, these newer coins like this, these dies, they are shallow. They're pretty well made. The planchets, I mean, they've got the whole zinc planchet thing down to a science now. There we go. Big old bird's nest sitting in his hair right there. That is a die chip right there that will be very useful. So we'll be able to use that That's actually a very useful marker. Sometimes you have to look more than once to see your good markers. And the reverse side, is it a double die? That's the big question. And I'd have to say no, it is not. And see, this has what appears to be the same die crack as on the previous die. I kind of wonder if the previous coin number 3 had that thing in the hair and I didn't notice it. So we're going to find that out because we need to learn these dies. We need to know what we're looking at. I'm going to go back to coin number 3 right here and see if it has that bird's nest up there in the hair, if I can find the coin. Yes, it does. Okay, so this one matches the die of coin number 4. So number 3, number 4 match. So we found 3 different dies so far. Coin 1, coin 2, and then 3-4 pair. And then we're going for a straight or a straight flush. Alright, so coin number 5. I have no good humor. My humor is always bad. So there's a die crack running. It's a spiked head die crack on that one. Still not a double die. But we have a spiked head die crack on this one. You have to tilt it just a little bit to see it right there from the spike of the hair up to just above the T. This also teaches you a lot about details on coins. There's another die crack. It's a really minor one, but there's a die crack running right through here. And it looks like it's a forked die crack. So there's another marker for us on a non-double die obverse. Check the reverse. This teaches you a lot about how to match things up and looking for small details and shapes. Yep, see, this one has a bit of a die chip above the E and above the L of pluribus. So that is definitely different, but still nothing. Coin number 6, Eric Maith. Try to get these reveals in and out so we can do it without anybody having to leave because of weather. Okay, what do we have here? A big spiked head die crack. This one goes from the ear all the way up through the W. So you know, once again, we have a different die. Interesting little hit on the coin there below the ER. Let's see what we have on the other side here. Kind of hoping for double die, something exciting for us. Something interesting to look at. To learn about. That's right, nice crack, right? That's coin number 6. It's going to be die number 5. And so we're getting to a point now where we're starting to reach a limit of sorts of the number of different dies to expect in a roll. This one has, let's see, it's nothing on the date. There it is, the bird nest. So we've seen this die before. We've seen this pair. This is not the pair you're looking for. There's your big, there's your big die crack running through the T up to the A in America. So we've seen this one a few times. Starting to know what we're looking at in this roll now. Starting to become comfortable with the design. Becoming comfortable with what we're looking at. Hello, Sloppy Stacks. Alright, let's see what we're doing with this coin. There is die number 1 for us. That's the one with the mark next to the 1. And it is not going to have a double die. You see, there's your, it's kind of hard to see, but the half moon shape die chip above the U in pluribus. That was our reverse marker for die pair number 1 for this roll. Coin number 9 now. Crispy. Crispy gets, well, there's another one. Same die. Same die. So this one should also have that half moon teardrop shaped die chip above the U in pluribus. And if that holds true, then we are learning. There we go. Learning this particular roll. So far 6 different dies. And no double dice. Sloppy Stacks, welcome to the channel. I don't think I've seen you before. This hopefully is working its way in the right direction toward becoming one of the more useful numismatic channels if you like learning the science of coins. There are a lot of channels out there that subscribe to fluff. It is a nice spiked head die crack, I tell you what. But it also means what? No double die. Die pairs generally work together, generally are changed together. Sometimes they're not. Hey, Mohunt Silver. Glad you guys are showing up. If you want to get involved with us, you're welcome to register. The registration only involves your YouTube username, your real name, and your email address from where you can receive a PayPal invoice to notice it and go over and get it paid. And then you can start participating in purchasing on the channel. It's free. It's absolutely free. It doesn't require anything other than that information. And I need that information prior to any purchase that you would make. This is die 1 again because it's got that thing next to the 1. I appreciate that, Eric. I certainly wish and hope that everyone can learn something every day, whether it's on this channel or elsewhere. The only thing I fear is that people start listening to some of the channels and some of the people that are basically writing their videos with AI or writing it with complete lack of knowledge, fantasy tales, stories about, something being worth an intense amount of money when it's really not valuable at all. I can't find one of my markers on this one. What about, see the die cracks on the coat? No, not there. Nothing on the 1. So this one could be a new working die for this roll. Jeff Dunn, good day to you. I might have to bust a couple of rolls open to get you some of the coins that you were looking for that album. I haven't forgotten you. There's nothing on this one. A small die chip above the U. Definitely a lot of fluff out there. Definitely. Fluff we want to get rid of. I prefer see nothing at all as to see some fantasy told as if it were the gilded truth. Oops, that's the wrong side. Let me look at the obverse first. I want you guys to have all the firepower you can have when learning about coins and going through coins. There's our die crack above the T again. It's a lot less noticeable on this coin, but it is there. It's coming out of the spike of the hair. Actually, this is a different one because this one actually has the crack going into the hair, and it has a little die chip right at the top of the head below the E. So this is definitely a different die now. That is likely a die scratch, die gouge behind the head, just above the neck. Alright, well, let's check this and see if there's any doubling on the reverse. Nothing. But we're getting some die cracks out of this, which are kind of interesting to study and look at, and they are excellent ways of learning your different dies. All right. We got nothing going on there, and that one's for Taco John. That's coin number 13. We're going to move on to coin number 14 now. Coin number 14 goes back to the owner of coin number 1, Wanda. Let's see if it's die number 1. See if maybe she gets the exact same die again, and that's not going to happen. With this one, we've got the big spiked head die crack, which is a great thing. The spiked head die cracks are really cool. And so I'm not going to check the reverse on that one except to look for obvious errors, and there's nothing on there. So coin 15 now. This is why we remember our obverse markers. We're checking our obverses first, and when we see a marker for something we know well, there's not really a point in having to research the reverse of it, looking for double dies or anything like that, because they are generally paired together and stay together. This one I can't find a good marker on the obverse on this one. I don't see anything that matches up. So we'll just look at the reverse on this one. The whole point's to be able to get faster and skip through reverses we don't need to see. And so if it's taking more time, just flip the coin over. Exercises your noodle too. It makes you remember stuff that won't be important 10 minutes from now, but it's very important right now to know these. If you want to get through it in a more or less scientific and professional manner. That's a dent on the coin. I thought there for a second I might have some sort of an edge error. But it's not. It displaces metal. It actually moves the rim inward, as you can see. And if I can get let me get something white. There. Now I've got you a little reflection. I'm holding a white card just off the edge of the coin, reflecting light back into the side of the coin, so you can see that's a hit. All right, let's keep looking. Let's keep looking around, see what we can find, see what's here or what's not. And what's not here is any of the obverse markers I know so far. Let's take that bit of a little tiny die point right there on the coat and see if that works for us. It may not, and it may. This one's also got that little tiny bit of damage on the bottom of the 0 that I was marking for die number 3. So we'll see if that works out to match up with any reverse markers that we know. And it does. Little die chip above the L, that's die number 3. See, these are things that I've been doing this for so long that I've become so accustomed to doing this that it's really not much any effort for me to be able to go in. If I'm really studying hard, I can go in, and that's die 1 there, the little chip next to the 1. I can go through a roll pretty quickly if I'm just looking at it myself, because typically if I'm just sitting here alone going through a roll, this would take me 2 seconds. I'd look at that 1, I'd be done with the coin. So you can imagine, as quickly as I can go through a roll, probably 3 to 4 minutes for a roll. But I don't even do it like this. Here's another die 1. I don't do it like this. I lay mine out flat on a stick, and I've got a board that I use that has a fluted center so that the coins stay in place, and I run that underneath the scope, and it can take me as little as a minute and a half to go through an entire roll. That's got the developing the little issue on the bottom of the 0, so that's die number 3 again. There's no little die cracks or anything else that makes this one interesting. It's just that one spot. one little spot. Coin number 20 now. Dan McCumber. And it's got the same spot. So that's another die 3, same thing. Now the numbers that I'm using for this don't mean anything beyond looking through this roll. So we're just kind of giving them a cardinal order as we go through the roll. Die 1, die 2, die 3. They don't matter when you get outside of this roll. Or perhaps another roll from the same box. Whatever the production run was at that particular time. There's another one of those. That's die 6. It's got that little egg-shaped blob right on the top of the head below the Wii. We've seen that one before. I think our spiked head die crack's probably going to be the most exciting thing come out of this roll. Chubby Pop Chaser. Another die 1. Pretty simple it is. A little taxing on the brain at first, but after a while you'll get used to doing it. But see, now I can run through this roll pretty quickly, knowing that I'm not skipping any double die reverses. I'm looking at the coins on the reverse outside of the scope just to be sure that there's no like huge major splits or anything like that that would occur rather suddenly. This is also a die 1 here. And Paul Hampton. Now the stick that I'm talking about will not really work for you unless you have a microscope. They don't do you much of any good unless you're dragging the roll through, going bam, 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 one coin, then another, then another. They're not like magic devices that make things apparent. They just help carry your coins under the scope so that you can look at them. One after the other. Let's see, here's another die 1. So that one little die chip has saved us a lot of looking. It's actually a pretty nice looking coin here. Yeah, some of these coins could actually be 66 or even 67 quality. I don't think that's really going to bring much of a premium after the cost of grading the coin. However, it's always nice to be aware of that you're getting some really nice BU coins here. Oh, we got clear blue sky starting to show through. Another die 1. Well, got that one well memorized. Thank you very much, Roll, for giving us so many die 1s to remember. Now stop. One for Frosty here, number 27. What do we have? That's not die 1. That's not die 2. That's not die 3 or 4. I'm not sure. It's not 6. We'll just have to take a look. There's one of them that had really fine. Nope, not that. Okay, so we'll just look at the reverse on this one and find out that now there's a small die chip above the U. I think we might have seen that before. That's a new one and another. All right, Frosty, your turn. Massive die crack or a double die or something. Bring me some excitement here. I got nothing on this one. Let's see, what die is this? Oh, 2. Die 2. It's got the little dinghy on the bottom of the 0. Tain't nothing. Thank you, Alex. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see, where are we going with this? Oh, it's not die 1. It's not die 2. It's not die 3. This is number 5. This is the one with the little die crack that goes up to and above the T. It starts right there at the top point of the hair. So we got nothing else going on here, and this one's for IT. That's coin number 29. Got 30 now. Chubby Pop Chaser. Man, that's a shiny coin. Really shiny. That's a die 6 right there. It's one that's got the hump on the top of the head. A little wart right on the top of his head. Okay, well, you've seen this one on the other side. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. We've been on this roll for about 25, 30 minutes. And we're ready to sail through the rest of it because there's a die 1. We know our markers and know where we're going with them. Looking for something that doesn't have the markers of any of the other dies. Die 4 is the one with the wild die crack. Spiked head die crack. I believe that was number 4. That's what I'm calling number 4. So there's a number 1. The important thing is that you remember that you've seen it before, not necessarily what order in which you found it. Frosty, yes, we have. We've got a few examples of a really nice spiked head die crack that goes all the way down to the ear. And there's only a couple of them in here, not very many so far. It's another die 6. But it's not entirely impossible to find. I think we may have 3 of them. I think there may be 3 of them in the roll. Sissy. What does Sissy get? It's die 2. You see how suddenly the one with the big bird nest up in the hair, die 3, we just suddenly stopped seeing that? I don't know how that works out, because the order of the coins in a roll they're absolutely random. They have no, there it is, right there. Ha, die 3. Boingo, boingo. See the little bird's nest right there in the hair? Right there. That is a die chip. Same place. Every coin for that die in this roll, you're going to have that. And nothing to match it on the reverse that looks like anything we need to stop and talk about. All right, here we go. Coin number 36 now. I think we caught a beam of sunlight that shone on my trees and made them a yellow-green color right before the sun went down. All right, that's a die 2 there. Giving you guys a chance to take a good look at the marker before I announce it so that you can get your chance to start remembering these. So you get a chance to play along. So you learn something, you know something, you figure something out, you get somewhere, even if you're not actually paid involved into the role, which is one of the points of doing this publicly, so people can watch it and see what happens. The other reason for doing it publicly is back when I first started this in 2018, I wanted for people to be able to see every move I made while I was doing one of these so that you guys could rest assured that I was being very generous, or very genuine. I didn't mean to say generous, I meant to say genuine, very genuine, honest, and with integrity while doing this, because at that point in time, not very many people knew who I was in the YouTube community, and I wanted to be sure that everyone had an opportunity to gain trust in me. So I went on doing this with live shows just to be sure that everyone got a chance to watch me open the roll, watch me go through every coin, watch me do everything I did. Oh, you know what we did? You guys let me skip coin number 33. This is coin number 38. Now 38 is crispy, and that's who's going to get number 50. Let's go back to 33 and find out who's going to get number 49. All right, here's number 33, and that is Eric Beyer. Okay, I want to give it to somebody else. I will give it to the one after 33. That's part of the damage of being one of the guys who does this. Sissy gets it, is that we don't have winnings inside the family, inside that part of the family. Okay, so I'm going to flip these over. And on 49, well, we know he gets number 48. But on 49, we're going to put Sissy on there. And number 50 is going to be Crispy. That was correct, right? Yeah. All right, so now we know who gets our 2 extra coins. And we're ready to keep moving. Coin number 39, all right, 39 now to Sissy. There we go. And this one is a die 5. It's die 5, got a little die crack running up from the hair toward the T. Die number 5. Okay, move on to coin number 40. Number 40, Dirty Water. See if we come up with any more of these big spiked head die cracks. Those are kind of fun. There we go. Bam. Here's one of them. Goes all the way down into the ear, all the way down into this area, and goes up and up through the W. And we've seen the other side of that die pair already and know that there's not really anything to look at on the other side. Now, Eric will be checking this roll through, at least spot checking it, to be sure that what we've seen so far is all of the truth. Don't want to skip anybody over. And if we ever do happen to actually skip something that you guys see after you get the coins, please let us know. I don't know that I've seen this die pair because I can't find a good marker. Can't find a useful marker, so we're going to flip this one over and just look at the reverse. Hopefully one of these days we're going to run into some major double dies. I know there's some good double dies for 2014. There's also good ones in 2015, so stay tuned because that's our next show. Now number 42, Frosty. 3 minutes until our other show is scheduled, so it's going to be a pretty quick turnover. I'm going to shut this one down when we're finished and come right back on reveal number 706. That's going to be... that's damage there. That's going to be the 2015 roll I have here. Let me check the other side of this one just to be sure that it's not something sneaking in that we haven't seen before. No, that's got the mark above the L. I think that's die 3. Surreg, next in line. Die 5. Die 5. All right, let's see where we go from here. Coin number 44. Paul Hampton. And there's a bird's nest die. Die number 3. Nothing on that one. Number 45. Stan Horn. Oh, he gets the dog hair. I don't even know what that is actually, because that came straight out of a bankroll. So this is looks like a dog hair or a cat hair. It's a bye-bye hair now. All right. Can't stand those things. This one is definitely strange. That looks like a struck through with a die crack. That's die 6, I think. No, I don't think so. It might be die 6. Looks like an unusual progression, though. Let's see here. Progression. Progression is a term that we use to describe a pair of coins on which one you have some damage to the die. On the next one we find, that damage has spread or moved so that we can tell they're from the same die, but they look different. It's kind of like a crack in a sidewalk. Over time, all it does is get larger. Or a crack in your windshield. You come out the next day, you can still tell it's the same windshield, but your crack is different. It's larger, grown, sometimes significantly, especially if it's cold outside. Not seeing any marker development on this one. Not that we've already recorded. This is probably one die that's clean on the obverse that I keep thinking is different new dies. Yeah, it's got the small mark above the U. That would be something, Eric. A holder for marker progressions. Now, how many you would want to make? I guess you could make it a 2-hole, 3-hole, or 4-hole. 2-hole's probably not that exciting. I would think a 3-hole. There's a die 2 again. See, if you get yourself a new roll of coins and look through it and practice what I'm doing here, and you get pretty good at it, you've got your die 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 together, you can put them in a holder. There is what I used as my lesson to learn what Chuck was telling me. Number 48 now, Eric. Big one. There we go. That's for Eric Beyer. And that's a nice die. That's a nice die crack. Dude, you've got a nice crack. Yeah, that's what Chuck told me. Number 49 for Sissy. And this right here is coin number 49. Nothing there, really. So, check the reverse. It's got a big mark above the L. This is, it looks like a die I haven't seen. But no double die. And now number 50 for Crispy. Last coin in the roll. The good thing about these heat wrappers, oh, there we go. Big old die crack for Crispy. The good thing about these heat wrappers is that they don't damage the coins, because there's no circle of death on these. You know, that's the second time I've noticed that. Huh. Coin's got a little hill on it right there. That's odd. some way that the feeder finger was actually denting the edge of the coin. All right, folks, that's all I've got. Got a bunch of die cracks, but nothing much else. I'll be back in, let's say 5 minutes with reveal number 706. I'll see you then. Go on in there, wait for me, have a chat. I'll be in a few minutes.